All right, what's up? What's up? It is Cowboy. It is Thursday, May the 9th, 5:30 actually I should say 8:30 a.m., 6:30 my time, 8:30 a.m. EST. And we did just have the unemployment data come out. So we're going to flip over to a Forex chart. Let me bring up the screen. Give me just one moment. And we'll take a look at what the unemployment data says. It looks like it is some dollar week data, so I'd imagine that the miss was to the downside. We also have V the Gorilla in the house. How are you this morning, sir?
Hello. What are you talking downside, man?
We're talking employment number.
Oh, yeah, always.
Yeah, it come out in dollar week, so I'm assuming that we had the unemployment was higher than expected.
Yes.
Yeah. And we're going to take a look at that.
It's always
right
higher
now,
than expected. And they revise down, these idiots.
Right. Well, what they're saying is unemployment higher than expected.
Yes, that's what I said. Unemployment higher than expected.
And then what is this revision? Can you not get the data at the right time? I mean, you are doing this once a week. You do it right.
There's a problem with mathematics in American governmental institutions.
Yeah, apparently they don't know how to do addition. Unemployment claims 231K versus 212K. So that's going to be a 10% above expected now. If they revised it later, I mean, this is a weekly number. So it does kind of serve to just add some volatility to the market. But what's going to be really big right now is the 30-year bond auction. And what I noticed just kind of looking through, some of the financial news here is that the yields are up and futures are actually sliding, right? So let's take a quick look at the let's jump down real quick just to see the effects. Everybody can understand what this unemployment does to the market, right? So I'm going to look at the euro versus the dollar. And you see how the euro is in front of the dollar in this pair, right? So we're going to get super basic and, for some of the new traders. Why is that color? That's weird. Let's do this. USD. Let's go ahead and change the text color to yellow. Okay, so you can see how in this pair, the euro comes before the dollar. You can see in the top left corner, you can see in the background of the watermark, and as I've written it. So if the dollar becomes weak, then by comparison, the euro becomes strong, right? It doesn't mean that the euro got any stronger. It just means that the dollar got weaker. And this is why this chart is going up right now. And this is on the 5-minute chart. This is actually a pretty decent move for just unemployment data for a 10% miss. That's actually pretty decent. But what we're noticing here is beyond that, the yields are going up, right, on the U.S. debt, which basically means demand is going down. So the world doesn't want to buy U.S. debt. We've been talking about this for years, but it's really, really become very evident in the recent months that China and Japan just simply not interested like they used to be. The U.S. is kind of trying to push places like Mexico, like third world countries, to try to buy our debt, and no one wants it. And I wonder why that is, V. Why do you think people don't want the U.S. debt?
Because they hate us because of our freedoms, man.
Is that what it is? They don't like how free our debt is?
They don't like that, our debt symbolizes how free we are, and they just want to, they hate us, bro. That's what it is.
That's why they hate us for our freedom.
Or is it because they don't trust us as far as they can throw us? Or is it because we're the world's biggest liability? Or is it because we are the largest state sponsor of terrorism on planet Earth? Or is it because we're a financial nuke waiting to explode on a daisy chain with a hair trigger? Or is it because everything we do, from our GDP numbers down to our bond numbers, down to our equities numbers, are all outright financial fraud? Riddle me this, Batman.
Sir, you don't look too kindly on the system, do you?
Not at all. Not in the least bit. I think I was I reached out to I forgot the guy's name, Adam Day, and Aaron Day, excuse me, as one of the early investors in BTC and whatnot, and he's talking about building parallel economies. This guy's he's like, I'm looking for. Basically, he was describing what he's looking for is something that I built back in 2017. The entire system that I've built, utilizing precious metals and digital assets, and how it all works together. But the point is, we need to start building parallel economies now. You're like, he made a valuable point, and I agree with him. You're not going to vote yourself out of this. You just unplug yourself from this.
There's a great video that I've shared. I've shared in the Discord a number of times. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the chat or in the description here. Give me a second. YouTube.com. And it's a video, like there's this, I think it's called like After School with a K. Kind of like those old after school specials, but they have all these great like videos where they talk about things and then they draw on a whiteboard and they explain a lot of things. And let's see if I can find it. So A Killing of the Mind. This has got, okay, I found it. Wow, that was quick. So now this video originally comes from a really good channel, and I'm gonna save it here. I'm gonna throw it in the description on YouTube when afterwards, because I don't know, like, can I edit the description in the middle of the show? Is that possible?
Yeah.
All right, let me grab this. And it talks about the 3 ways to fight tyranny. I'll review this video, make sure it's the right video before I actually post it. So I need to take a little time. I wasn't prepared to talk about this today, but there are 3 ways to fight tyranny. And one of them is parallel systems, right?
Yep.
One of the other ones is actually humor, because there's a reason why, like in the Soviet Union, like Stalin would, have people who, made memes about him, like people who made comedy about Stalin were like put to death. Because if you laugh at them, comedians are, they're like the ultimate truth tellers, because when you have an audience, and it doesn't matter what you're talking about, if you say something that's funny, people can't help it but laugh because it's true, right? So actually humor and memes and making fun of these people is actually one of the biggest weapons we've got. So pay attention to the description. I'll throw it up there. I don't know, might be in an hour or so. Really good video. But yeah, looking at the charts right here. Oh, by the way, just to reinforce, parallel systems are it. Because there's going to come a time, possibly. Now, it might not get this bad, and I don't want to talk about, it's just going to hit the fan and have your cat food ready, and I don't want to go.
My cat food is always ready, son.
Oh, dude, I got stock in Whiskas just because of you.
That's right, brother.
That's right, Whiskas, buddy.
Do you like the Whiskas that has the gravy in it, or do you like more of a dry Whiskas with some of the?
I haven't had the dry Whiskas in a few days, so I didn't go try that today.
The gravy is like my favorite, man. It's so good.
Well, I mean, I've been stuck in the gravy.
It's like a beef stroganoff,
Yeah, dude. It's yeah. And then they had like the new woke version called beef stroganoff. All right. Anyway, so we're looking at prices being held up. This unemployment data causing dollar to be weak. Whenever the dollar is weak, everything that is traded against the dollar rises up. Now, this is a very short-term move, right? You can barely see it on this chart because this is basically a daily chart, but you can see that as everything, at the last, like, say, few days, futures has gone down, and but it got held up. And I guarantee you, later on today, we're going to have Expound the Profound on, right? He's going to be at 2 p.m. I'm sorry, at 4 p.m. EST, we're going to have Expound the Profound on, and he's going to explain to us why the markets are not falling, right? Because the markets really are being held up. The markets want to fall. People want to sell off. People want to take profit. People are scared. And yet the market just continues to rise. Every time you see this, look, this right here, this big move down that you see, this is a daily move. This is going from March, like late March 20th, all the way through late April. This move and the way that it kind of fell, this shape, this rounded shape, usually that means that things are not looking good, brav. Like right here.
It's not looking good, bruv.
It's not looking good, bruv. Like this, that's never good. Usually that means price is just going to continue down. And yet somehow the price gets held up. Well, Expound the Profound maps out the VIX, and on his, and I've put, I've actually, I put videos in the Discord, for his thesis. That way you can kind of watch his video and get a good idea of his thesis ahead of time, so that when he talks, you're not lost. But we'll do what we can to kind of keep the conversation as, as intro as possible. This is a pretty smart guy. And one of the failings of smart, and I don't know this about him specifically, he might not have this failing, but one of the failings of smart people is they don't understand how smart they are, right? Because a truly smart person knows that they have more to learn, and a truly smart person doesn't think they're smart very often. Like, they know they're smarter than the average person, but a lot of times they don't know how effing smart they are. Now, I haven't talked at length with him in the background. We've had some messages. We've had a lot of Twitter interaction, but this guy, I want to hope that he keeps things basic. Long story short, though, this move should have gone down, and where that yellow arrow is, we're probably going to see where the VIX really started to get controlled. And he maps it out every day. He says, look, market open, VIX gets crushed, and it gets held down throughout the entire day. And then as soon as the market closes, the VIX is let go again. It's extremely obvious. So we're going to have that today, 4 PM EST. Definitely tune in. This is somebody who I don't think he's done any, to my knowledge, this is an exclusive. Like, this guy is not very well known. I found him because my, the Algo Factory's Twitter consultant actually found him and says, hey, what do you think of this? And I checked it out. I'm like, holy crap, dude, this guy's onto something. And his Twitter's growing. And so we might actually be early to this guy. So yeah, definitely some machinations, however the hell you talk, holding the stock market up, if you ask me. And you can see right now, look, it's already starting to flag. And I mean flag not in a classical sense. I mean flag in a chart sense. It's starting to flag and possibly, hang out and move back up. Now, I did at least predict what probably would be a bit of a fall in stocks. And it could happen. Price is still ultimately headed down. It's just headed down very slowly. But if this formation continues and price does not break downwards, it's probably going to break upwards. It's just how it works. Sky Queen wants to see Rumble stock. We have just enough time for that, and then we'll jump over to the private lab. Let's look at Rumble. I thought Rumble was really going to take off. I haven't looked at the numbers. And but I don't see like a lot of people really using Rumble like I thought there would be. I think
we're lazy bastards. That's why.
People
we're
just
lazy bastards.
They complain about oppression.
YouTube. Yeah, Rumble is way better than YouTube.
It's way better,
and yet people don't come over, man. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Y'all deserve the tyranny you're all gonna get. That's all I got.
Yeah, Rumble's great, dude. It's like, and now they've fixed the app. It operates in the background. You can live stream, like all the stuff that people complained about with Rumble, like last year. That's gone.
It's all been fixed. Like, you got to be crazy not to use Rumble. Like,
we're on Rumble every day. Sky Queen's right.
Day in LA. I don't know, man. I'm feeling kind of goofy this morning.
That's all right, dude. Look, lean into it, Drew. Here's the thing about it. Like, all this stuff that we're talking about, like, we talk about some stuff usually like, we're actually making a bit of a shift. Look, I'm going to tell you something. Let's go back in history a little bit. We might go just a hair over on this broadcast. But so I went through the red pill starting about 2012, when I really started to kind of go a little sideways, right? Like, when I say sideways, I'm talking about like normies that look at me like, what the hell you talk about with your conspiracy theories and, all this and that. And so I did kind of calm down around 2014, kind of turn back to normal. But then 2015 with the election cycle, that's when I really started to wake up. And I started, very long story short, I found Via the Gorillas work around that time.
I thought you were going to say you found Jesus. And
I found Jesus, and Jesus told me to listen to Rogue. No, I don't want to be blasphemous. Jesus is not the Jesus.
Jesus could tell you to listen to Rogue. It
was Jesus. It was Jesus.
Well, Jesus could tell you to listen to Rogue. It's not outside of Jesus' wheelhouse to do so.
That's true. It could, but I just don't want to like insult anybody. It was Jesus Marquez. But anyway, so long story short, it was.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like, I think I stumbled around it in like 2015, maybe 2014, but really started to dig into Rogue around 2016. And I just got tired of all these very emotional people talking about the white papers. Like, people just, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you right now, cowboy. I read all the white papers, and the globalists are moving. They're going to take over the world. They're going to have a globalist control grid with CBDCs and social credit scores. They're going to keep vaccinating us to oblivion. There's no hope. Our only hope is to sit in a corner and shit our pants and eat cat food and wait for the SWAT team to come through the door because I read the white papers.
Right. I mean, and that's fine, dude. Alex Jones does good work, actually. I'm not, I'm not saying he's all bad, but just
I was Hulk Hogan. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We gotta listen. We're gonna eat cat food, brother.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Like, I mean, Alex does. If you're kind of new to the red pill,
Alex does good work, but it's like kiddie pool, man. It's so
You're gonna say kitty something else, bro.
No, I'm sorry, not that. It's the wrong environment to say so. He's good on domestic issues, but he gives way too much credence to these globalist idiots, man. Way too much credence. And he's also, when it comes to international politics and geostrategic, geoeconomic, he's a baby. He's a kindergartner. He needs to be spoon fed milk. And I'd be happy to put him on my lap and give him some warm milk to bring him up to speed.
All right, that sounded gay.
That does sound gay, doesn't it?
It's a little gay.
Very
That's okay though. I know you're not gay. So you marry the kid. It's all good. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't like that emotional side of things. I want to keep it right. And so listening to Rogue, and by the way, back then it was Rogue Money. Right now it's Rogue News, and Rogue Money was something where I was like, hey, these guys, like it was CJ. Back then it was like Bix and all, that whole kind of time, that era. Gus has always been there. And that's before I was involved. And I'm like, these guys are focused on getting their money right, looking for solutions. It was all about solutions. And you used to say that. I'm sure you still do.
Absolutely. It's all about solutions.
It's all about solutions, like not about whining and complaining about the globalist and they're going to take over. And that's not, you need to get your shit in order. And I think that spirit has remained in Rogue, but I think that Rogue is really still kind of pushing that. So, pay attention, and we're going to be doing some pretty badass stuff coming up here in that regard. But back to the Rumble stock. It doesn't look good. Like, I don't know what the market cap for Rumble is. Let's take a quick look on Rumble's market.
It's not looking good, bruv.
Rumble market cap. I wonder how meaningful the market cap actually is. Rumble, it's Class A. Let's see, stock price news, quote history. Market cap, about $2 billion. Okay. It's a multi-billion-dollar almost company, so there's decent market cap. But what I don't like is this. The chart doesn't look good at all, and I don't know Rumble. I don't know what they need to do. Now they do have some hard moves up on the way down. Like it seems as if it looks pretty good, but I don't know. I don't know enough about Rumble. I can tell you that right now, though. I mean, this downwards escalator of a stock is not something that I'm necessarily interested in, but it looks like for some short-term moves, if you can catch it at the right time, you can do well. I mean, this is like a move from, the extreme at 330 all the way up to 918. You can get like a ×3, and that happened just this year. Of course, this could turn around. It might just be that Rumble was doing some improvements, and now that they've done it, maybe they're ready to, really do well. So and it's not to say it's going to continue down. I don't want to say that because I don't know that. It might actually go up from here. But what I would do with Rumble would be just to watch it for at least these cycles go about, let me see, May. What is this? May 22, September. So about half a year. So September to January, January to June. So yeah, these cycles go about half a year. This one actually a little bit longer. This one from June all the way to December. Actually, that's half a year too. So, I'd watch this. And price needs to find some kind of floor. I could easily make money on this short term, though. I mean, you're looking at a weekly chart here on, say, like a daily chart or even a swing trade. Rumble could be really profitable, but that's not talking about buying and holding. That's talking about finding moves up and then actually selling into them. So, we're not talking about Rumble stock and how great it is. We're talking about just this ability to, like, say, buy, April 16th from $6 moved all the way up to $7. That's a 18%. If I'm correct on that, that's good. That's great. And that's only from, let's see, from April to May. This is roughly a month. It's really good. Less than a month, I think. Rumble stock right now, though, it seems like it's getting quieter. The volatility is like kind of down on Rumble. I don't have enough data on a higher time frame because it's like too new of a stock for me to actually use the algos on it for a higher time frame look. I mean, I could just briefly take a look at it. Obviously, we're going a little bit over on the public, but that's fine. Yeah, right now I think it's actually going to, if nothing else, it's going to move down back to this liquidity area right around here. It's probably going to grab liquidity in roughly that kind of $6 to $6.30. It's going to do that. And then what happens next is, I'm guessing, and I'm only guessing because this could really, really change. And this forecast right now, I wouldn't put too much stock in it, so to speak. But it does look like it might even step down to grab liquidity in the 5 or high 4 area. So, but again, that can change, and a lot can change. I know we have an election year, so there's going to be probably some censorship going on at YouTube as the year goes on, as the year winds on. I think you and you and Gus were talking about when the kind of media storm is going to hit the fan, right? Like with regard to election, when do you think? Like June?
I think there's a hot center between July and mid-August. I think it's going to really ratchet up, bro.
Yeah, so we could see, because there's a lot, dude. I mean, I'm seeing stuff. Obviously, Twitter is where you can, you can see things that you might not see elsewhere. Rumble, honestly, I think everybody should just go to Rumble. Personally, like, I am a proponent for Rumble. I just don't see their stock doing that well. And it could be as simple as Rumble's a newer company, and this elevated stock price that started out was just people speculating and thinking that Rumble might expand more quickly than otherwise. But I'm guessing that YouTube actually relaxed its censorship to allow for more kind of alternative views in response to Rumble. So Rumble is in a way keeping YouTube semi honest. But as this election year kind of ratchets up,
I think YouTube, Rumble's about to really ratchet up big time.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like, so let's put a line in the sand where we think that the election, the hot spot around July. I might, if there were to be some kind of a move over to Rumble due to, say, censorship or something, price might just kind of hang out in this general area. And then July, let's keep an eye out. And I'll guarantee you, like, I don't guarantee anything, but I guarantee you I will be watching Rumble. And as soon as the censorship, like, if we don't really go on YouTube anymore for Rogue or anything.
No.
But the minute people start getting nuked on YouTube, dude, Rumble's probably going to do well. That's like really good estimation. So let's keep an eye on it. For now, we are well over on the public, free to the public live lab. Please go ahead and follow us. V, get us out of here, bro.
Yeah, guys, listen, don't sit on the sideline. This is for you. Join the most prolific trading community on God's green earth, where we will not only teach you how to trade, but building very algorithms that trade on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Join us or die.
Join us or die.
Join us or cry.
Let's
lie.
Trade here as I'm flipping over. We're still live on the public here. Everybody gets to hear us talk for just a